Hi, my name is Dr. Emily Block, and in this video, we'll continue our discussion about integrative negotiations. Remember, there are 4 tools for integrative negotiations. This video focused on the third tool for integrative negotiations, generating a variety of alternatives. To generate a variety of options, you need to think about the big picture of a negotiation while also recognizing that there are a number of smaller issues. Value can be created by identifying what each party cares about most. The goal of an integrative negotiation should be to create the most value for yourself overall, not the most value on each individual issue. One mistake people make when negotiating is they tend to take a rich, complex negotiation and turn it into a series of small haggles. This way, it's easy to get stuck on an issue and harder to see the compatibilities between issues. You should try and break the habit of going one issue at a time. Instead, negotiate multiple issues simultaneously by generating a number of options across the many sub-issues. With multiple issues and options in the mix during the same discussion, it becomes easier for negotiators to make wise trades. You can fight for what you care about most in exchange for giving up what the other side values more. In general, with multiple issues and options on the table, both sides are more likely to get at least a few wins. Once you identify the multiple issues and options, then you can work on combining them into different and creative deals. Think about it this way. If you're at a wedding and it's a set dinner, everyone at the table gets the exact same plate, the same amount of potatoes, steak, and salad, regardless of their food preferences. It's easy to manage for a big group, but it doesn't take into account people's preferences. For example, I don't really like potatoes. I would love an extra piece of cake. And if the wedding had a buffet, I could take more of the parts of the meal that I want and less of the parts that I don't enjoy as much. There's almost an infinite number of options. Everybody's plate is different because everyone's preferences are different. Great negotiators are able to use those differences to generate a variety of alternatives and then select from them. But how do you make sense of all the options? There are a few common strategies that can be used when managing multiple issues: bundling and unbundling, bridging, and log rolling. Bundling occurs when you combine multiple smaller offers into a single larger offer. We see this all the time with cell phone plans, where a mobile phone, a physical product, is bundled with a monthly service plan, a subscription, for a single price. Typically, the more offers contained in the bundle, the higher the perceived value of the offer and the more the business can charge. That's why mobile phone providers add things like more minutes, unlimited text messaging, and internet service onto the basic service plan. The more benefits provided, the more a customer is typically willing to pay on a monthly basis for the entire package. One of the benefits of bundling is that you can get people to buy things that they wouldn't normally buy. Who even calls people anymore anyway? Unbundling is the opposite of bundling. It's taking one offer and splitting it into multiple offers. A good example of unbundling is iTunes selling downloads of a single song instead of the whole album at once. Customers may not be willing to pay $10 for an entire album, but they may be willing to pay $1 or $2 for the songs that they particularly like. Unbundling the album into individual units opens the way to sales that wouldn't happen otherwise. Bundling and unbundling can help you create value for different types of customers without requiring the creation of something new. By combining offers in various configurations, you can offer your customers exactly what they want. Bridging is another strategy to manage multiple issues that involves building contingencies around issues that you're worried about. It allows for agreement based on a contingency or a future circumstance, such as a value. It allows for expectations between the parties to be different. If you're worried about how something's going to play out in the long term, you can build it into that negotiation to make it not just about that single thing, but also about time. For example, payment plans. Let's say you just moved into your apartment and you really need a new sofa. You can't afford the one that you really want right now, but you know that you could easily save up for it in 6 months or so. Lots of stores will sell you that sofa on a payment plan, where you end up paying more for the sofa overall, but you get it now. Time is not the only issue that can be managed by bridging. Risk and uncertainty can be bridged too. This happens a lot in the movies. An actor will take a low salary to play a part in an edgy film that he really wants to make in return for a cut of the profits if it makes it big. It's a good gamble, especially if you need to pay for a sofa. The bridging almost always means playing the game of what if and building those what ifs into the negotiation. Log rolling is the act of trading across issues in a negotiation. It requires that a negotiator knows his or her priorities, but also the priorities of the other side. If one side values something more than the other, they should be given it in exchange for reciprocity on issues that are a higher priority to their opponent. In order to do this, you have to 1. Understand the perspectives of the other party, and 2. Be able to identify multiple issues that you place different values on. Then you can trade off so that you can maximize total value. For example, suppose I'm negotiating with my partner on how the household chores will be divided up. We have to determine who will do the cooking and who cleans the bathroom. I actually love cooking, and I wouldn't mind doing that task every day. The bathroom is only cleaned once a week, but I hate doing it so much that it feels worse than cooking every day. While sitting down to discuss the chores, he says we should split both jobs 50-50, with him cooking every other day and me cleaning the bathroom every other week. But again, I hate cleaning the bathroom so much that it is totally worth it for me to cook every day just to avoid it. He doesn't love cleaning the bathroom either, but he definitely likes only having to do something once a week. When you're willing to concede ground on issues that are less important in order to obtain a better outcome on a more valued issue, you can increase the chances of an agreement that everyone can live with. How can you get to the point where you bundle, unbundle, bridge, or log roll? Well, you figure out what all the issues might be and try out a bunch of different combinations of those issues. So the next time you find yourself in a negotiation, when it comes time to make the offer, don't just make one. Instead, make 2 or 3 offers at the same time that juggle different proportions of the sub-issues. This helps you show flexibility in the deal structure. Then all of a sudden, there's more degrees of freedom for others to be able to give you what you need to say yes. It also helps you avoid getting stuck on a seemingly intractable issue. The best negotiators work with their partners to brainstorm lots of options together. Can you think of a time where you were able to use one of these strategies to create value in a negotiation, or a time where you missed an opportunity to do so? Thanks for watching. See you next time.